Hey there, this is Unmesh and I promise that this is going to be our last class in organization. I know this is boring, but you know what? If you don't organize your Lightroom now, months from now, your Lightroom experience will be completely chaotic. I know this is monotonous, but if you don't do it, maybe your files will be missing. Maybe they will be renamed and hard to find. So let's get this done this time, right? I know, it's boring, but for some of my friends, they have a blast organizing, but that's for the above average. I know, this is monotonous. Now let's get back to the old days of film. Suppose you have created a photo album by now. And what do you do with the photo album? You keep it in the cupboard, place it in the attic, or anywhere you want. And say years from now, you open the attic, you open the cupboard just to find that there is no photo album anymore, but bits and pieces of papers and your photos. Maybe the rats had a nice feast. Or maybe you dropped the photo album in the lake. Anything can happen. But let me tell you what, you still have the negatives, right? You still have the negatives. Same in Lightroom. You made a collection, you made a photo album, you arranged everything, and you made a mistake. Your images are still on the hard drive. Still there, you can always import them back. Also, suppose your Lightroom has thousands of images. My Lightroom has 16,000 images. And suppose I'm looking for a photo of a statue. And that should be a portrait, that should be a headshot of the statue. And how do I find it? Because my images are not renamed that way. And if I go on renaming my images, 16,000 images, that is going to be a lot of pain. So how to find that? All this and more amazing features today coming up. But before we begin, make sure if you haven't yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button to get more videos like this in future. So let's get started. So let's do no mockery now. Let's jump straight into Lightroom, and we are here in Lightroom. As you might remember from the previous video that we had created a collection, and this was a collection set. Mount Abu was a collection set, and inside that we had two collections, Mount Abu Best and Mount Abu Select, right? These are the best, these are the ones that I like. Now suppose I'm in the collection and I don't want this image to be in the selects. What do? Press the backspace. Or you can also press delete. If you're on Mac, delete works for you. Now, what do I do if I deleted an image? Well, say I have deleted that image that I deleted in front of you right now. I want that back. How do I do that? Now, this is very essential. You can either go to catalog, and if you have just imported the image, you can click previous import and you can import that image. But if that's not the case, if you're right now editing it, you have to go to the folders panel. Now there's a warning here. I try my level best to not go to the folders panel. What is folders panel? Folders panel is nothing, but it's an arrangement of folders as it is in your computer, right? And you don't want to go to the folders panel. Why? Because if you click on a folder and if you delete it, if you press the delete key, it's gone forever. It's deleted from your hard disk, right? You don't want that to happen. So be very careful when you are in the folders panel. So Mount Abu, what was the image? This was the image, right? So I can go ahead and I can drag it in the collection. Where's the collection? Go to the collection, and it was in select, right? Drag it in, place it in select, and we might have it again. Yes, there we have it. Or let's go back again. If that was not the photo, let's go back again. And what photo did I delete? I still not remember. But if you go to this folder, this has all the photos that we have and in the collection. Now, go to the collection. Let's pop it up. Go to the collection, go to the select. And if you want that photo to be there, just go to the ones and make sure you scroll down to collection and drag that photo simply to the best or the select, wherever you want it. This photo, you can drag that back, you can re-import it. Now let me show you the cool stuff. So we have this image, let's zoom it in. So let's just double click and it will be zoomed, and let's just tuck it in. And on the right, as you can see, we have the histogram. What is the histogram? It shows you the tonal range of the image. And below that, now this is cool. This shows you the ISO. The ISO at which you captured the image. This shows you the focal length. The focal length, the zoom, right? 18 mm. This shows you the aperture, f11. And this is the shutter speed, 1/40th. Now if you just pop up the quick develop panel, you'll see a few adjustments that you can make straight in the image. Suppose you want to increase the exposure, you can increase it, decrease the exposure. Suppose you want to auto tone and stuff like that. See, we'll get into more advanced stuff in the develop panel. See, develop panel is made for that. There are a ton of controls that we can do. But just for quick adjustments when you're cycling through images, whether we can recover highlights from a particular image or stuff like that, just to check, we can always go ahead and click quick develop and do the adjustments that we want. Now let me upgrade myself to show you an extremely awesome stuff. Now let's click on this thing, metadata. This shows you everything from the camera you used, the lens you used, to everything. Let's see what it shows. It shows the flash did not fire, make it's the Nikon camera, Nikon D5200, the lens that I used, the ISO, the shutter speed, the dimensions of the image, what time did I click, and you know what, I got the time of my camera wrong. It shows me 3:48 AM. What a surprise. Anyway, that's my camera's fault. Okay, now capture date 9th November 2016. Hopefully that's alright. Now let's click that back in. Now as I said in the beginning, I have 16,000 photos in my Lightroom catalog, and I'm looking for a particular image of a statue that is the face of the statue. How do I find it? That's going to be difficult. Why? Because the files are not renamed that way. Let's do that in Lightroom. Let's bring that back and let's go back to the grid. How do we go back to the grid? Remember? Now, I dropped the mic. That was the mouse. Okay, let's get the mouse back. Now suppose I'm looking at this image, right? Now I cannot find it by just typing statue or stuff like that. I cannot find that. So what to do? Click on the keywording and start typing the keywords with which you will in future search the image. Now this is a completely new level of organization, upgraded. So if you have the time, do it. If you don't have the time, you always have the collections. You can go to the best or the select and you can find it. You can just remember where did you take the picture and go to the select or the best and find the image. But if you wanted to take it to another level, this is the thing for you. So click on the keywording and just start typing like statue, comma, space, face, comma, space, portrait. Okay, now we are done. Let's tuck it back in and let me show you the proof, because proof is essential. Now let me show you the proof. Now if I go ahead and select Control F, press Control F, if you're using a Mac it's Command F, the search dialog box appears. Now if I type here statue, this image will show up. If I type here portrait, this image will show up again. If I type both statue and portrait, this image shows up. So this is another level of organizing your images to such an extent that it becomes so easy and snappy to find out your images. Okay guys, that's all for today, and I promise the next video will be about the develop module, where we make images look prettier, the videos that you have been waiting for. If you like the video, like it. If you dislike the video, dislike it. But make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Till then, stay tuned and make sure that you keep creating.